Well done, Charlie, musically. It is 6:44. Welcome back to Great Day.
Was that a hint?
That was a big-time hint as to what we're going to be talking about, because it's time to visit with Ron, the car guy from Westside Auto Pros, and kind of a drag. Might be dragging things around, as in, trailers, perhaps. That's
there we go. Charlie does a good job with the music, doesn't he?
Tie everything all together.
He puts a lot of thought into that stuff.
I'm telling you, but that's what we're talking about here this morning, because a lot of people will be going camping this week.
Yeah, well, they are, and I've even noticed, out on the interstate and stuff. I mean, you're starting to see the race car trailers are out, and motorcycle trailers, and the campers and stuff. Yeah, it's trailer season. It's here in full force, and we want to make sure that people are aware. Trailers need maintenance too. They need a little bit of loving, and you'll go down the road. One of the more common things that you see is you'll go down the road and you'll see a wheel off of a trailer.
Yep.
And it's right.
It's true.
Yeah, and it isn't necessarily that the tire went flat, which that is common. We'll talk about tires on trailers in a little bit, but it's this guy right here.
Mr. Bearing.
Yeah, Mr. Bearing is what fails on these trailers. We're going to do a zoom in. Check out my nails there. Wow.
Extreme close up.
Yeah, but anyway, this is a wheel bearing that goes on the trailer, and it rides inside a metal cup. And the important thing on this is there has to be lubricant. There has to be grease, thick, heavy grease on here. So when it rolls inside that cup, it isn't metal to metal.
And that's what those grease stingers are for, the grease points.
That would be these guys here.
Otherwise known as bearing buddies.
The bearing buddies. Yeah.
Or as Jason Parkin calls them, grease fingers.
Lean it
the grease fingers.
Forward. There you go.
There we go. Oh, okay. Hey, got a little lighting there. We better have Jeff come in and adjust that.
Charlie, play something.
Zoom out just a little bit.
The grease fingers. A couple things while we're talking about the grease thingers is the bearing buddy that doesn't come on a trailer when you buy it new, and those were originally sold with the idea that you could simply maintain your bearings by putting grease into these, and it would pump grease into the bearing, and it would work, and that's better than nothing, but it's not the answer, and the reason is, if you rely on that, you just keep pumping new grease into that bearing, and you never get to see what the condition of the bearing is. And it's especially critical on like a boat trailer, because every time you put your boat in the water or take the boat out, you're backing this bearing into the water.
Right.
And the bearing buddies just keep putting new grease in there. They do nothing to remove the contaminated grease and the water and the moisture and the gunk that gets inside of there.
So tell everybody what they have to do when it comes to bearings and grease.
I recommend that depending on how much you use the trailer, annually or at least every 2 years, the wheels need to come apart, the hubs need to come off. You need to take these bearings out, clean them up, repack them with fresh grease, inspect them, make sure there's no damage, and then put new seals in it and put it back together. And if you do that, the bearings will last forever on your trailer, and the wheel won't fly off.
Yeah, the thing about these, you have to take them off. You have to jam the grease in there. That's what he calls packing the grease.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So eventually, does it just heat up and basically disintegrate?
Exactly. The bearing gets hot because it's rubbing metal to metal, and it isn't just the bearing that fails. This is what we run into is in the summertime we'll tow trailers in off the interstate. It isn't just the bearing that fails. It actually ruins the hub that's in the wheel, and more importantly, the axle on the trailer. So it's not a one-day fix. Now all of a sudden we're trying to source axles or spindles for this trailer, and depending on the value of the trailer, it could total the trailer out. But if it was as simple as the bearing got ruined, it'd be an inconvenience, but it wouldn't be an expensive repair. But it ruins the spindle and the hub on there, and then you run into thousands of dollars to fix it.
How often are we talking? Let's say everyone put their trailer away for the wintertime. It's been in storage. They're now getting it out, getting ready to get excited. Is that when we need to start looking at it, or does this last for a couple of years?
Well, again, it depends on how much the trailer's used. And for most trailers, there's not an odometer to look at the mileage and stuff. I mean, if I was Lou and pulling my race trailer, every weekend throughout the race season, I'd probably do this annually. If you've got a camper and the family goes to South Dakota and back, and that's it for the year, maybe every couple of years. would be a good, if in doubt or if you can't remember when last it was done or if it's ever been done.
It's probably time to do it.
Now it's probably a good time to do that.
Now, what if everything you described is like a foreign language? Can you take that in to have it done? Is that an expensive treatment to have done?
No, it's not. Considering the downtime and the fact that it could ruin components that cost $1,000. It's relatively inexpensive depending on how many axles you have on the trailer. $100 to $200
now,
to do
obviously
that.
you guys can do that, but maybe some people have some bigger tow vehicles and some vehicles that they're towing around that they really can't maneuver and get over to your place. Is there any way to have you come to them?
It's easier if it comes to us, and we have a lot of space. We can usually get stuff in. The problem with us going to them, we could certainly try that, but then there's always that one tool or an issue or something, or oftentimes like when we go to get seals or bearings, say we're buying a bearing for a trailer, you can't just call up a parts store and say, hey, I've got a trailer that hauls a car and I need a bearing for it. We have to cross-reference numbers and stuff like that.
So you have it right there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for us to have it. The other couple items to remember on your trailer is the lighting. And you see this often, one's dim, one doesn't work. I mean, it's just almost a pain anymore, but they have come out with it. This is an LED replacement light. There's no bulbs, no sockets, nothing like that to corrode. And these are readily available in all kinds of shapes and sizes to upgrade the lighting on your trailer. And then we want to talk a little bit about, I know you addressed yours a few weeks ago, the tires on a trailer. And we're back to the 6-year rule because seldom do trailers get used enough to make tires bald. So if the tires on a trailer, they have the DOT number that we talk about on the show all the time. If the tires are approaching 6 years of age, it's time just to replace them.
And more people, when we told them that we replaced all the tires on our trailer, he said, well, you just got those, didn't you? And I was like, well, that's what I told the guy, too. And he looked at the date on there, and he says, yeah, 15 years ago.
Exactly. And you look at like a tandem axle or a triple axle trailer, if one tire fails, then the other tire on that side is doing double duty. It's trying to hold everything up, and it's just a matter of time before it fails, too.
Right.
So, and don't put... We see this as the other thing too is people will put automotive car tires on a trailer. They'll cross the size over and they'll put tires that should go on like a Chevrolet Impala on their trailer, and they're not heavy duty enough. I mean, spend a few extra dollars, put good trailer tires on, and just know that in 5 or 6 years you're going to have to replace them. You're not going to wear them out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you don't want to get caught in a situation you're out camping with the family and then.
Well, look what happens when a tire blows on a trailer, especially if it's like a single axle.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's an accident. I mean, you're, the best thing that can happen is somehow it comes unhooked from your car and don't take the car in with it.
Right.
Exactly.
So we're getting ready for Memorial Weekend. Is there still opportunities for people to go get their trailer checked out?
Absolutely. Contact us, West Side Trailer Pros.
Yeah. Yes.
West Side Auto Pros, of course.
Give us a call or at 225-9090. You can find us on the web, westsideautopros.com. We can handle all your trailer stuff, even if it's like, welding, repairing on it and stuff. We can do all that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good to know. And if people have any questions for you, where can they go?
They can go to askronthecarguy.com.
Very good. Thank you, Ron the Car Guy.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Ron the Trailer Guy.
We'll be right back. This is Great Day.